Number 666, also known as the number of the beast. Ever since the book of Revelation revealed this number to the world, it has been looked at as something sinister, something connected to the Antichrist and the end of the world. For centuries, people have feared anything related to this number. People have even gone as far as to remove all traces of this number from their lives, believing that by doing so, they will somehow be able to save themselves from its curses. But what is this curse? What is so evil about this number? Let's find out the true origin of the number 666. The emergence of 666 can be traced back to the year 587 BC, when the Babylonians invaded and destroyed the kingdom of Judah. They ransacked the first temple in Jerusalem and deported many Jews to Babylon. One man who was spared from deportation was a Jew named Nebuchadnezzar II. When he took over as king, one of his first tasks was to rebuild the city of Jerusalem. While rebuilding the temple, he found an inscription which read, Alem Ulke, Levanos Lazarian. He thought that the letters were the name of the builder, so he changed it to read Leve. In order to remember this event, every time he saw the letters LLK, he would associate them with the year 587 BC. This association led him to believe that the letters stood for the year 587. Because there are 6 letters in the original inscription, the first 2 letters of each word add up to 6, and 5 plus 8 equals 13. Since 13 is reduced to 1/3, which equals 4, and 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18, which also reduces to 9, he believed that 666 represented the completion of the cycle of 18 years. Another explanation of 666 comes from an old text called the Emerald Tablet. The Emerald Tablet is an ancient Hermetic text attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure who is said to have lived in Egypt around the time of Alexander the Great. The text is a collection of esoteric teachings that deal with topics such as astrology, alchemy, and the nature of the universe. One of the most famous passages in the Emerald Tablet is the following: As above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. This passage is known as the Hermetic principle of correspondence, and it states that there is a correspondence between the macrocosm, or the universe, and the microcosm, or the individual human being. The principle suggests that what happens on a larger scale in the universe is also happening on a smaller scale within the individual, and vice versa. In other words, the universe is seen as a reflection of the individual, and the individual is seen as a reflection of the universe. According to some scholars, this tablet may have played a role in the development of Christianity because it expresses many ideas that are similar to those found in the New Testament. The third theory surrounding the origin of 666 comes from ancient Greek numerology. In Greek, the letter A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, C is equal to 3, and so on. If we take the word that represents Nero in Greek and add the values of the letters together, we get 666. This is the most widely accepted explanation of the origin of 666. Another interesting fact is that the name Jesus Christ also adds up to 666 when written in Greek. This is not surprising considering that early Christians believed that Jesus was the fulfillment of Jewish prophecy and the Messiah. Therefore, it makes sense that the two would share a numerical value. But what does this really mean? Well, according to some, it means that Jesus was destined to suffer because of his association with the number 666. This interpretation is based on the fact that in Jewish tradition, the number 6 represents suffering. For example, in the book of Job, Job is tested by Satan and suffers greatly. Throughout the book, the number 6 appears many times, and it is associated with Job's suffering. However, we must not ignore the fact that the author of Revelation was Jewish. He wrote his book in Greek, and the readers of this book were Greek-speaking Jews. It was only after the destruction of the Second Temple that Christians started reading the book of Revelation and associating 666 with the devil. Most likely, when the author of Revelation wrote 666, he did not have any special significance attached to it. He just thought it was a weird coincidence that the name Nero Caesar added up to 666, and so he used this coincidence to refer to the man who would bring God's wrath upon the earth. As time went on, more and more people started to believe that 666 had a special significance. Some people believed that it represented the number of the beast, while others believed that it represented the number of man. Regardless of what it represented, everyone agreed that 666 was a bad omen. Buildings that had 666 as part of their address were avoided. People refused to own property with this number, and if they did, they tried to hide it. Even today, many people will go out of their way to avoid anything that has to do with the number 666. For example, if someone has a birthday on June 6, 1966, they may try to hide it because they don't want people to know that they were born on 666. But let us not forget about the origins of the word beast. The word beast is derived from the Latin word bestia, which simply means wild animal. So the beast referred to by the author of Revelation was probably some kind of wild animal that was used as a symbol of Rome's cruelty. Another explanation of the origin of 666 can be found in the writings of the church father Irenaeus. In his book, Against Heresies, Irenaeus wrote the following about the origin of 666. For thus also, as we have already said, the number of a man is 6, and this man is the one who is called the son of perdition. And he is called the son of perdition because he destroys all mankind and is himself the son of perdition. For he says, I will destroy my creatures from the earth, man and animals, birds and creeping things, and they shall not continue. According to Irenaeus, the number of a man is 6, and 666 represents the perfection of evil. He then goes on to identify this man as the Antichrist. This interpretation is supported by other church fathers, such as Hippolytus, who wrote the following about the origin of 666. For he is the lawless one, whom John also has declared in these words. He comes from the bottomless pit. He has a great tail like a scorpion, and his tail sweeps away a third of the earth, that he may kill them. And he is called in Hebrew, the angel of the abyss. Now this lawless one, the angel of the abyss, is the one of whom Isaiah spoke when he said, Woe to the inhabitants of the seacoast, to the inhabitants of this side of the river, and to the Ethiopians, and to the Sabians. According to Hippolytus, 666 represents the perfection of evil, and that evil will reach its peak with the coming of the Antichrist. In conclusion, there are many theories surrounding the origin of 666, but in reality, we may never know for sure. However, one thing is for certain, 666 is a powerful symbol that has been used throughout history to represent evil and the devil. Whether or not it actually holds any special power is up for debate. But one thing is for certain. It is a symbol that has captured the imaginations of people throughout history. From the book of Revelation to the TV show Supernatural, 666 has been used to represent the forces of darkness. Whether or not you believe in the power of 666, one thing is for certain. It is a powerful symbol that has stood the test of time. Now let me ask you, what do you think is the origin of 666? And do you think that 666 is a real curse? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And before you go, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.